this Montgomery 15 cleaned up pretty good. I got the inside cleaned out a little bit. I just bagged up all the garbage and debris that was in it, but I haven't cleaned the inside other than just, you know, get out the debris and trash and mess. But outside I pressure washed and it cleaned up good. It's not in bad shape at all. There's very few little nicks or dings in it, honestly. Found the hatch boards. They need to be re-veneered, but they're here. So at least I've got them for patterns, if nothing else, and they'll work for the time being at least. Looks like I've got all of the rigging, nothing missing. I have basically a brand new mainsail with a double reef, custom made by Omar Sails down in Newport, North Carolina. They come with it, and there's a new jib, but the previous owner was still trying to find that. But there's a new jib that was made at the same time as the mainsail was made, if we can figure out where it's at. And also there'll be a small outboard motor that goes with it as well. So the biggest problem with this boat, as I've said before, is termites got in the bottom of the rudder where it was leaned against the wall sitting on the ground, and the tiller is completely shot. But everything is here and it's in good shape. I don't see any real problems. If it weren't for the fact that the rudder was messed up, I could take it to the lake. The cockpit drain was completely clogged. I've got that draining. So the centerboard may be stuck because of debris, you know, being that the cockpit drain drains around that centerboard in that same centerboard well. It could possibly be that some debris has gotten in, and I got that thing. Well, I'm just out here on the tailgate of my truck getting ready to take this rudder assembly apart here. You can see the condition of the tiller there. It's actually, surprisingly, it's not rotten. It's not rotten at all. It doesn't appear to be at all. It's just that all the glue lines completely separated, and so now it's just a bunch of strips of wood. So I think I may be able to sand them out and, you know, glue them back together with maybe some epoxy, and maybe salvage that. I don't know. I've got another one I can replace it with if I need to. And the rudder blade is the big problem. Eat up with termites. Bottom 6, 7, 8 inches is pretty eaten up with termites, and that was because it got left sitting on the ground. It's mahogany, 1.25 inches thick, I think it is, up here at the upper end of it. Anyway, this has kind of like the Hobie Holder 14 had. It's got a kick-up rudder, and it's got a mechanism in here so that you can take your tiller, and when you lift up on the tiller real hard, the rudder comes up, and then when you lift up on the tiller hard again, the rudder goes back down. That's a very temporary measure till I can get around to either repairing or making a new mahogany blade. I've got this solid fiberglass blade here that's about, I don't know, maybe 3 inches short on height, but it should get me out on the water just to kind of play around a little bit. So I've got to modify it just a little bit, so I'm just going to cut it. And I've already drilled a new center pivot hole. And I'm going to see if I can put it back together with that. And I've got a tiller here. This is the right dimensions pretty much. So I'm going to just kind of quick and dirty put something together here just to make this thing work until I can get around to, you know, making new and repairing whatever. So I had this rudder laying around. It's a fiberglass rudder, and it's about 3.5 inches short on the bottom from the length of the other one. But it's it's close enough to where I can get out on the water with it and play around some anyway. I may not have, obviously not quite as good of steerage if I'm heeled over, that kind of thing. But it'll work until I can either get another one or repair that one or make one or whatever I'm gonna do. And I had this mahogany, this is just a solid mahogany tiller that I had here. Got some white spray paint on it for something. But, and again, that was almost an exact size. I had to cut the length just a little bit back here. I had to cut about 3 inches off the length back here, but other than that, it was almost a perfect match. So I just spent an hour or so tweaking this and putting it back together, and now I've got it where it will work with this boat. Just to get me on the water, just to see how I like the boat. I'll improve it. Trust me, I will improve it. But just to kind of get it going until I can do better. Well, it's been raining all day. It's supposed to be heavy rain all afternoon. I'm going to try to get a little something done, so I'm out here on this Montgomery 15 with some mold and mildew killer. I sprayed the whole boat down on the inside with Lysol a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been kind of sitting closed up with that in there. But not much else to do today, so I'm going to get in here and start wiping this thing down and trying to get rid of the mildew, and then I'll come back and give it a good scrubbing and try to get rid of whatever dirt and grimes in there. This is my 5-gallon bucket here. I've got my ankle rod and chain in, just sitting here. I did replace these bolts right here. They were put in with just plain old zinc plated, and they had rusted out. I never got them out, but I finally did get them out. I had to drill them out, by the way, to get them out. But I got them out and replaced those with some 3/16 bolts. They're not screws. They've got nuts and fender washers on the bottom side for. So that's good. And I did make this thing here. I needed a rod to be able to push down this centerboard. When the first time I take it out, there's a good chance it might be stuck. So I made up this here rod. I just used a 3-foot long piece of drill rod. That's 1/4 inch. That's the smallest they had. But that's 1/4 inch drill rod. And I took an old oar that was busted and not worth really fixing, and cut the handle off of it, and set that into that there to give me a good handle there. And so now this will fit down beside the pennant, and we'll go down where I can push down on that centerboard and hopefully release it if it's stuck. That's tapping on the centerboard there, right there. So just done just a couple of little piddly things like that. I did cut me a couple of hatch boards for these 2 little storage hatches here that were missing. And it is teak plywood. It's teak marine plywood. Half inch marine plywood. And if you look at this corner right here, you'll see that that's how close it was to my scrap I had. So it literally was like 1/8 of an inch too small to get a good clean cut all the way out of it. That was what corner had been cut out of it. And they're both like that. That's how close both of them were. But I can live with that. I can live with that. Got a little bit of water staining on it, but nothing terrible. I do need to run my router around these holes here to give a little bit of a radius edge on that. But there's the back side is teak laminate as well. So I've got those made. So now I've got all of my hatches here. This one was the same way. That corner was just a fraction too small, where it had an odd cut in it. Like I say, I can live with that. That's good enough for me. They'll be underneath the cushions anyway. I do have the cushions for this boat, and they're not in that bad a shape at all, although they're a little bit dingy. They were stored inside of a storage building, storage facility, so they're just a little bit dusty and dirty. I'm going to vacuum them off good and then maybe use some carpet cleaner or something and try to clean them. Anyway, enough talking. I need to get in here and start wiping this boat down. Well, I ran out of my mildew killer, but I got a lot of it done. I have to go get some more. It's looking a little better, and it just feels a little bit safer being in there without all that mildew everywhere. But I will have to come back and just scrub it really good with some, soapy water, that kind of thing, and to get the rest of the dirt and grime out. But right now I'm just trying to kill the mildew. I've still got to get up here. I got part of overhead, but I didn't have enough to get around here, and also all back up under here I hadn't done yet either. So, but at least it's a start, and it feels just a little bit better just getting in and out of the boat. I feel like I'm not trying not to touch everything getting in there because it was so dirty.